Starting with the great name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Myself Ehtisham Hamid, and welcome to my YouTube channel Computernetic Zone for another exciting lecture. In today's lecture, I shall be discussing about the difference between compiler and interpreter. Now, compiler is basically a software that translates whole program into machine code. Right? So for example, if you have written 100 lines of code, then the 100 lines of code that is written in a high level language will be converted into machine code at once, right? Whereas an interpreter is a tool that basically translates a high level language into machine language by statement. For example, if you have written 10 lines of code, then what will happen that your first line will be first converted into a machine code, then second line, then third line, then fourth line, then fifth line, and then so on and so forth. So here is a line by line translation of high level into low level is called interpreter, whereas the translation of whole program into machine code at once is called compiler. So compiler, when you're going to compile any file, then it will generate an object file, right, which is for example, if your file name is abc.c in a C developed in a C language, then its object file will be abc.obj. so in interpreter there shall be no object code or a not object file is not generated. So as compiler translate a whole program into one at once, and then that's why it is working very fast, whereas interpreter that works line by line, converts line by line, that's why it is slower as compared to the compiler. So error detection is very difficult when you are going to compile your program as compared to interpreter, whereas since it is line by line detection, so that's why the error detection is easy in interpreter. So compiler requires more more memory, and interpreter requires less memory. Now the compile code runs faster, since I'm saying that again and again that it is converting the whole program into machine code at once. So that's why it runs faster, whereas interpreter runs slower. So it is difficult to implement a dynamic typing in compiler, whereas interpreter, the dynamic typing is very easy. So we have a few examples of a compiler that we have. First is C language and C++, whereas an interpreter, PHP and Python are the examples of interpreter. So that's all for today. If you like this video, share it. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section. I will definitely respond there. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can subscribe it and click on the bell icon so that you can get more videos. Thank you and have a great day.